All right. So this, okay, rotations. First of all, when we do rotations, okay, there's two types of rotations we're going to have. Okay, first of all, you have what a rotation means is, okay, moving an image about a fixed point. Okay? And do you understand what I mean when I say about? Basically, if I have, okay, think of a propeller on an airplane. Okay? What keeps the propeller from flying off the plane? It has something in the middle, okay, some kind of a bolt or something that attaches it to an engine, right? Okay? And that's what keeps it on. Okay, it is rotating around what? That center point, okay? That's like a point of rotation. Okay? Does that make sense? So if imagine if like a propeller was shaped like this. Okay, these would be rotating around this point, and they would go either clockwise or what? Counterclockwise. Okay, that's an example of how rotations work. Okay, now we're going to focus on rotations on the graph, and if it's rotations on a graph, how many quadrants are there on a graph? Four. And if I go all the way around a graph and back to its starting point, how many degrees is that? 360. So think about this. If there are 4 different ways I can rotate on a graph, each location would be what? 90 degrees. Okay. All right, so a rotation. Now you're going to have, does everybody have this written down? Okay, I have 2 types of rotations we're going to do. We're going to do a rotation about the origin. Okay, and the rotation about the origin is pretty easy, okay, because I have some rules, okay. If I have a rotation about the origin, when I look at my graph, okay, let's just say I have something like this. Okay, now this is not, let's say this is A, this is B, and this is C. Okay, we'll connect these. Okay, first of all, this is not the same as a reflection. If I was reflecting this over, let's say, the x-axis, what would this look like? Like that, right? Same thing, just flipped over. But that's not what we're doing. Okay, we are rotating it, okay? And when we are rotating it about the axis, okay, the origin, okay, that's right here. So I have 3 different ways of rotating about the origin. I have 90 degrees clockwise. I have 180 degrees, and I have 270 degrees clockwise. The thing about 180 degrees is it doesn't matter whether you're going clockwise or not, okay, because it's going to end up where? It's going to end up in the same spot, regardless of whether you rotate it 180 degrees or 90 degrees. Okay, so let's first start with 90 degrees clockwise, okay? If I have a point that's 90 degrees clockwise, I have some rules, okay? It sounds bad, doesn't it? Okay. I know. No. Okay. My rules for 90 degree clockwise. I have a point that is XY. Okay? If I rotate it 90 degrees clockwise, okay, here's what's going to happen. Okay? I'm first going to flip them. Okay? So that now my y becomes x, and my x becomes y. Okay? But my x becomes opposite. Well, what does that mean? Okay, let me show you an example. Let's take this point on the graph. Okay? This point A, what are the coordinates of A? 1, 1. Okay, so if I use that 1, 1, I'm going to flip them. Okay, so now this 1 goes up front, so it's 1. And my opposite x is going to become my y. Well, what's the opposite of 1?
-1.
Negative 1. Okay? So I'm going to go back to my graph, and I'm going to put a point at what? 1, -1. That's going to be my A prime. Well, what are the coordinates for B? Look at B. 1, 5. Okay? So 1, 5. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flip them. Okay? So this is now 5, but what's the opposite of 1? -1. Okay? So go back to my graph. Over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down 1. That's going to be my B prime. Okay? Then, let's go back and look at, oops, okay, C is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, right? Right? 4, 1. So this one is 4, 1. I'm going to flip them. So 1 goes first, but this 4 is opposite. What's the opposite of 4? -4. Okay? So when I do that, I go over 1, down 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is going to be my C prime. Now this, wow, really a bad straight line there.
Wait, these are the rules for
Okay.
90 degree rotation.
So here's the deal. This is 90 degrees clockwise. Do you see what I did? I took this shape and I rotated it this way 90 degrees, about the origin. Okay? I need to go fast because I'm going to run out of time, guys. This is 90 degrees clockwise. Do you understand the rules of how I did that?
Yes.
Okay? These right here are the rules. Okay. Does everybody have this written down?
Yes.
It's incredibly important that you understand this. Okay? What is your question?
So first the rules that you just wrote down,
Uh-huh.
those are just the 90-degree rules, right?
The one we just wrote down was for 90 degrees clockwise. We're going to do the other two next.
And then can you go back to the graph?
Yeah.
Shouldn't the B and C be switched on the 90 degrees one?
Mm-mm.
Wait, why does it go down? Oh.
Okay, think about this. It's like a triangle, and all I did is I rotated it like this. Okay? You see how up here the triangle is kind of like pointing up? Up? Do you see how it's kind of pointing up like that? This one it's pointing this way. What do you think it's going to point on this one?
Down.
It's going to point down. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's go back to my rule. Okay, 180 degrees. Now, it doesn't matter, clockwise or counterclockwise. It doesn't matter. Okay? All I have is X and Y. What I'm going to do with those is opposite X, opposite Y. Okay? So let's take the points again. Okay? Let's take this first point. Okay, what are my coordinates of A?
A is 1, 1.
1, 1. Okay, so I have A is 1, 1. What is B? What was B? 1, 5?
5, 1.
Over 1, up 5. Okay, and what is C? C was 4, 1?
4, 1. Yeah.
Over 4, up 1. Okay. So 180 is actually the easiest one. Okay? Because all of these are just opposites.
So -1, -1.
So what would this one be? A prime would be what?
-1, -1.
-1, -1. B prime would be,
-1, -5.
and C prime would be.
-4, -1.
Okay, so let's go back and graph these. Okay? And let's see if we did this right. Okay, the red was 90 degrees clockwise. Okay, the green is going to be 180 degrees counterclockwise or clockwise. Okay, so -1, -1. So back 1, down 1. Okay, and then what was the next one?
It was -1, -5.
That back 1, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what was the last one?
-1, -4.
-4, -1. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1. Okay, so this should be the same shape, but this time it's pointing where?
Okay.
Dang, man, I can't make a straight line. Okay, it's pointing down. Okay, does that make sense so far?
Yes.
Okay, now let's go and we'll do this last one, we'll just do this one in black. Okay, can I erase this rule?
Yes, you can.
No.
Can I erase the green part?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, so for this one, my rule for 270 degrees clockwise, thank you, X, Y, okay, we're going to flip them again, okay? This opposite Y, X, okay? So let's go back to our points. What was A? Oh, I'm going to do this in a different color, black. Okay, what was A? A was, dang it. Okay, A was 1, 1. What was B? 1, 5. And what was C? 4, 1. Okay, so if I am going 270 degrees counter, or clockwise, sorry, 1, 1. They're going to flip, but this one's going to be what?
Negative 1, 1.
Negative 1, 1. This one's going to be what?
Negative 5, 1.
Negative 5, 1. And this one's going to be what?
Negative 1, 4.
Negative 1, 4. Okay. You guys see where all those points came from? Okay. So now let's graph them. Thank you. All right. Let's go back and graph them. I've got negative 1, 1. So back 1, up 1. What was my next one? Negative 5, 1.
5, 1.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 1. And the last one was?
Negative 1, negative 4.
So back 1, up 4. Back 1, up 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And when I connect those, okay, did it go in all different directions?
Yes, it did.
Okay. Do you see how we were able to rotate all of these about the origin? This one went this way. This one went that way.
And since you did them all in order, typically it would be a 90 degree.
Okay, that's the easy part. Do we all understand how to rotate a figure about the origin? Okay, the most important thing, guys, you have to know, very, very important, you got to know these rules. Okay? You got to know these rules. If you didn't copy that down, copy it now. Okay? And so we'll just copy the notes for you, okay? All right. And I'm recording this one so that you can make sure that you understand. Okay. Are we good on that part? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So the next part that I want to show you. Okay. I'm going to erase all of this stuff. Okay. Now let's say that I have a triangle right here. We'll even kind of go, because I think the first one you have overlaps a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it does. Okay. So let's say I got something like we'll say this. Okay. All right, so I got some points here. Okay. Let's connect them. You guys try to draw a little generic graph if you can. Oh my gosh, I cannot draw straight lines. Okay. Now, something else that you will have to understand how to do, okay, is to graph. What did we just do? We just graphed about the what? Everybody, we graphed about the what? Origin. Okay, you're also going to have to know how to graph about a vertex. What does that mean? Okay, that means basically is if I were to take, it's almost like, say you were putting your thumb right here, okay, and I'm rotating this 90 degrees this way, okay? It's not the same rule as what we used for the origin, okay? This, you just have to kind of look at it, okay? So think about this. If I am holding my thumb right here, this is going to move this way, isn't it? But it's still going to be in the same, it's going to cross quadrants. What do I mean by that? Well, let's look at it. To get from here to this point, right here, what did I have to do? I went back 2 and up, how many? 4, right? So, but this one I'm rotating 90 degrees. So instead of going back 2, I'm going to go up 2, and then where? To the right, how many? Okay, you'll see in a second. Okay, look. I went back 2 and up 4. Okay? So because I'm going 1 quadrant over, I'm going to go up 2 and over 4. Okay? Look at this one. How far from there is this one? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Straight up, right? So I'm going to go straight to which direction? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. Okay? This one I went up 5 and over 1, 2, 3. So I can go up 5 where this is and over how many? 1, 2, 3. Now if I was going to connect these, okay, oh my gosh. That is the same shape, but instead of rotating around the origin, we rotated around that point. Make sense? Okay, now let me show you. Hold up. Let me show you something. If I am rotating at 180 degrees, that's going from here all the way down to here. Well, the easiest one to start with, okay, and we're rotating about this vertex. Okay, this is the big bad vertex right here. That's where it's rotating around. The easiest one to start with is the one that's in line with this. Is there one that's in line with this vertex?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right?
Down 5.
So it's going to go straight down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now look at this point. How far from this point is this one? 3. But check it out. If I'm down here, is it going to go this way? It's going to go that way, isn't it? How many? 1, 2, 3. This one is this way and then down 1. So this one is going to go where? This way, down 1. Bam. Okay? You just kind of have to, that is a straight line. I should just stop. I should drop the pen and walk away right there. Okay. So we rotated this 90 degrees. We rotated it 180 degrees.
Made an unequal proposal.
Now, can I show you a trick as far as if I'm going to rotate them, this one, I'll do a different color here. Let's do orange. If I was going to rotate this 270 degrees, what do you think would be easier than that?
360.
Ashley?
90 degrees.
90 degrees counterclockwise. Thank you. Okay, so check it out. Is there one that's right in line with this?
Yeah.
Right there, right? So where's it going to go? It's up 5. Where am I going to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now this one was 4 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4 right here.
Wait, say that again. Which one was 3?
3, sorry. And then this one was to the left, 2 and down 1. So to the left, 2, down 1. Okay, and then I got a little orange vertex here.
Left 2, down 1. How did you just do left 2, down 1?
Okay,
It's a windmill.
do you see how we did that?
No.
So I need to do this whole thing over.
Yeah.
Okay, check it out.
Always leave that line in. Just do the 290-degree one left again.
Okay, look. Let's just say I got this. All right, I'm going to do this. I got a point here. I got a point here, and I got a point here. Okay? All right. I'm going to cheat and make straight lines here.
Cheat, just a little bit.
Look how straight that line is. Bam, I'm so good.
Drop the pen. Drop the pen and walk away.
All right. Now let's say, okay, let's say I want to rotate around. What do we want to rotate? Somebody pick.
First point.
No, the middle.
Let's rotate about this one. Okay. So if I'm going to rotate about this one, okay. All right. So first of all, this line is up how many? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 2, right? So from here I'm going to go where? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and where? Bam. This one was over 2, down 4. So what's that going to look like? Over 2, down. Over 2, down 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait, over 2, down 4.
That's what I did.
How? Yeah, that's what he did. How did you over 2, down 4? Did. Wait, now what degree that mean? Oh! Wait, what? I don't understand. How can
Okay, listen.
Turn the object in your hand. Imagine like you're holding the object that was
We'll do this one in this light blue. Okay? Okay, check it out. This point, this is going to be just like this one, except it's going to be down, right? It's going to be 180 degrees. So from this one, I went up
up 5.
5 over 2. So I'm going to go down 5 and where?
Left 2.
Over 2. Sorry, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over 2. This one I went over 2, down 5, so I'm going to go over 2 and where? Up 4. Okay.
Oh, that was down 4, sorry.
Oh, that makes so much more sense.
Ah,
Oh, the colors.
Wait, that's not, that was 180 degrees?
180 degrees.
Well, wait, how did this give me
Okay.
this?
Now the last one, okay, if I was to look at this last one, we'll do this one in pink. Okay, I can tell that this one is going to go, this one's the same as this, right? I'm going to go up, 2, over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Darn it.
Are you going from cyan one?
I don't know what cyan means. 1, 2, up, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.
How does he move the kind of not right?
Mr. Kersey, that's not right.
No, that's not right.
What's wrong?
They should be shifted one to the left.
Aha. Good. So this one should be where? 2, 1, 2, 3, right here?
4.
Wait, no, it should be over.
No, it's over.
Yeah, right
There, 5, because it was over 5.
Good.
Because it was over 2,
Testing
up
us?
5.
No, I made a mistake. Okay, so up 2, over. I shouldn't have done one that overlaps like this.
Yeah, that's kind
5 right there, yeah. 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Okay. All right. So we rotated.
Holy crap.
Whee, like that. Okay. All right.